Welcome back to SGE TV. We are excited to be here with you. This week, we're going to start off with a little competition between advisors to test your knowledge about the SGE application process. Advisors, please pause the video now and record your advisory's answers in the Google form. Okay, let's review. What is the minimum number of days your SGE needs to be? Is it A, 2, B, 4, C, 5, or D, 7?
I hope by now you all know your SGE needs to be a minimum of 5 days long. Let's move on to question 2. All of the following are SGEs that will be accepted for credit except A. Job shadowing a reporter at Action News 5. B. Completing a legal internship. C. Attending a summer camp on a college campus. Or D. Babysitting a family member.
The correct answer for this one is D. Remember, this year you may not complete an SGE that is affiliated with a member of your family. The goal of SGEs is to push you outside of your comfort zone. You can do that by completing your SGE with people and organizations outside of your family who know you well.
Lastly, question 3. How many hours do you need to volunteer at a minimum in order for your SGE to count? Is it A, 5, B, 25, C, 35, or D, 50?
The correct answer here is C. You must volunteer for 35 hours in order for your SGE to count. Alright, that's enough review. Today we are ready to dive in the SGE application packet with you.
That's right. For some of you, the SGE application is going to be totally new to you. Some of you have applied before, but it has been about a year since you applied to SGEs. So the purpose of today's episode is to walk you through the application package so that you will be ready to apply when you find the SGE that is right for you.
If you participated in SGE's last school year, you used a half-sheet interest form to show your interest in applying to certain SGEs. In order to remove one step in the process, we are going to shift to advisors listing student names in their advisor tracker.
What? As a student, how do I make sure that Mrs. McCain, SGE director, and my advisor know that I want to apply to a certain program?
Each Wednesday, you have the opportunity to take an application packet for the advertised programs. When you choose to take an application packet, your advisor will document that in their advisor tracker, which is shared with Ms. McCain. This will let Ms. McCain know to follow up with each student.
Oh, I see. But as a student, it's still my responsibility to make sure I advocate for myself and ensure that my SGE interest is documented each week, right?
That's right. You can also share that you want to and are planning to apply to a non-advertised SGE, meaning one that wasn't on the weekly commercials, by checking in with your advisor and asking them to list your SGE of interest in the tracker.
Alright, let's move on to the cover page of the application packet, the application worksheet. This page is a really helpful overview of everything you need to do to complete your application.
Yep. Start out by looking at the top. You will see the official deadline for the application. That is the last day it can be submitted to the program. Your personal deadline is earlier than the official deadline. Shoot to submit your personal deadline. Sometimes it gives you an advantage to submit a complete application early.
Underneath the deadlines, you will see all of the parts that are needed to submit a complete application. For example, if you look at the Business Majors Awareness Program or BMAP application, you will need a transcript, a letter of recommendation, a resume, and a short video, as well as an online application. You won't need a list of activities, honors, or an essay.
Some applications may have an application checklist. As you complete your application, you can check off what steps you have completed on this checklist. The backside of the application worksheet also gives you space to plan how you are going to complete all of the required application pieces. In the future, you may see there's a calendar included in your application packet. The calendar is a helpful way to visually see when all the deadlines are due. For example, if I'm applying to BMAP, I could set a personal deadline for when I need to ask my teacher to fill out any recommendation letters, when I need to film my video, request my transcript, and complete my online application and resume. Ms. McCain will list when Media Lab workdays are on the calendar as well.
After the calendar comes a copy of the paper application. However, some applications are found only online. Students and advisors, it is a good idea to always write a rough draft of your application on paper before submitting it. That way you can proofread it for any errors.
There is nothing worse than sending off typos and errors on the application. There's a surefire way to disadvantage your SGE application.
The paper application is often where programs write their essay questions too. In some applications, you will see on a separate sheet of paper, please explain in 500 words or fewer why you want to be in the program.
Wait a minute, hold up, pause. 500 words? For an SGE. Wait a minute. Shamar, are they serious? I ain't even for do all that. They tweaking.
It's actually a lot simpler than it seems. No need to freak out. Did you know that 500 words is roughly the same as about 2 paragraphs that are 5 to 7 sentences long? It sounds like a lot of words, but you probably write more than that on all of your do nows each day.
Now that you think about it, I must be writing thousands of words each day in my classes and not even realizing it.
Exactly. Most SGEs will ask you to write a response of 250 or 500 words. Don't freak out. That is a regular paragraph with 2 at the most.
All right, well, I'm glad we have all of your wisdom with us to help us break down these SGE short answers.
And I have even more good news. When you flip the page in the SGE packet, you will see the next page on the packet is an essay and short answer brainstorm sheet. This is where you can plan your entire essay.
That's right. The hardest part of writing a short answer or essay is getting started. If you are feeling stuck, simply use these step-by-step essay brainstorm guides to get you started. Advisors, this is a great place for all of your students to begin when starting an SGE application. If a student gets stuck, you can always guide them here first.
The final pages in your packet are the teacher and counselor recommendation forms, as well as your transcript request forms. Typically, they will look like what you see on the screen. Make sure to put your name on these forms so your teachers and counselors will know who they are writing about.
All right. I want to take this opportunity to introduce some people who are responsible for your recommendations and transcripts. Okay, meet Miss McCain. Miss McCain is the coordinator of SGEs, and she is also the person who will write your counselor recommendations. Many of you know Miss Ragland, of course, as the school counselor, but for purposes of your SGE applications, Miss McCain is responsible for writing your recommendations. Ms. McCain, along with other staff, are also responsible for creating and sending out your transcripts. You can reach Ms. McCain at her email address at lmccain@tscsmemphis.org.
Also, make sure that you submit any complete applications to the SGE bin in the CAST office. That about wraps up our discussion of the application packet.
Thanks for watching.